And we are back from the break. And Finn is on his, as he said, Mission Iguana Possible. So, Finn, you have come out into the storage room and inspected the chamber from the ceiling. And you wanted to try and discover the cats that you're pretty sure are living around here, correct?
Yep, see what the local species look like.
Okay. So just kind of clinging to the ceiling and scuttering around, pausing, looking around, that kind of thing.
Yep.
Okay. Give me a wisdom check at half your score, please. Okay.
I'm
That's
gonna
what
go with
happens
a
when
no.
Um.
I type or
So
talk, you know.
yeah, Lafdul. There you go. Why'd you go make him roll a 20?
It's not just level that gets affected by the curse.
Has Finn seen an elven cat, or would he know the difference? He did not detect anything unusual with the smell of the cats last time he was here. All right, so this was more to determine how long it would take you to find the cats. And these cats are pretty good at hiding, so it took you a good amount of time. You're pretty sure that the protection from evil has expired by the time you locate the cats that are in here, or at least have spotted them. They're pretty standard cats, house cat type cats. You don't think that these would be considered pets, however, because they clearly do live up here, and there's two as far as you know. You're not sure. There may be one or two more, but you do eventually see two of them. One a jet black cat, and another one kind of a ghostly whitish color, like an off-white kind of thing. That whitish one seems to be the sneakiest and stealthiest of the two that you know of.
Okay. I'll commit the details of the black one to mind.
Okay.
And
Well,
then head back over.
so is your goal to try to mimic them, kind of thing?
As close as possible.
Okay. So you
I'm
wouldn't.
sure other cats would probably be able to tell a difference, but
Yes, absolutely.
I want to at least pass a casual glance from a human.
Yeah, if you just become a standard black house cat, that is going to be close enough, unless you act in a way that's different, like personality-wise, kind of thing.
Yep.
All right. So now that you've identified those, what did you want to do? I'm sorry.
So I was gonna head back to the air ducts
Okay.
and work my way down to where it says "Great into corridor."
Okay. So let me go ahead and get you back here, and that's where you popped out last time, correct?
I think so.
Yeah, it was. Okay. Let me get you out. All right, and I will drag you over here. Okay. So you work your way down from uh, the route, passing by the shaft going back north. Take the southeast route, bypass the grate into the training room. Continue south, get to the intersection, and then head east, bypassing another intersection and coming to the grate that leads out into the corridor. Okay.
Okay.
So, looking around, you can see that there is someone on patrol, and he is to the west of you, slowly walking to the east.
Okay. I'm gonna hang out here, wait till he passes, and then follow him.
Okay. All right. So he stops at a an opening partway down, and you can't hear what he says, but he clearly sticks his head in and has a short conversation with some people inside that chamber. And then when that's done, he makes his way along the corridor, comes to the corner, and starts going north. As far as you can tell, he has not noticed you.
Okay. Well, being invisible on the ceiling and the gecko, I think I can stay fairly close to him.
Okay. So he gets up to this door up here and opens it, sticks his head in, and starts chatting with some people inside. Um, Give me a modern languages check, please.
Yep, there it is. Nope.
Okay, so it's more of just like the position that you're in. Like you're on the ceiling, he's stuck his head in there, and so it's muffling pretty well. What you can make out is that there are a number of people in there, and they seem to be having a pretty good time, just conversations going on. And that's kind of making it difficult to make out what's being said. Um, you can see a little bit inside, basically just to like the through the doorway inside up here. You can see a pretty nice upholstered couch, like the arm of it up against the wall. But that's about all you can see from your position.
Okay.
Do you want to stay on the ceiling, or do you want to like come down and actually peek through the the door?
If he's not going in, I'm going to stay on the ceiling.
Okay.
I have a feeling I want to follow him for a little ways.
Okay. He has he continues his conversation for a couple minutes and then closes the door. Um, you would pick up enough that you think that he's doing not just kind of a chat session with the people in there, but also a check-in and see what's going on kind of thing. Then he closes the door and continues on, and he goes to the other side and comes to this door here and opens it up, and you can see enough that there is a another corridor in there, and he just like glances in, and then after a few seconds closes the door and moves on over to this door here. It does basically the same thing, and you'd realize that that is the training room, and he's just opening it, glancing in, glancing around, and then closing it.
Okay.
And goes ahead and continues a leisurely patrol up this way to the north. He bypasses the corridor, comes to the stairs, and he'll go up the stairs and just kind of like peek into the storage room up there, glance around for a moment, and then come back down. And then goes around the corner and starts traveling down the corridor. So you're pretty sure that this guy's just on a patrol.
Yeah, but I figure eventually he'll lead me somewhere interesting.
Sure, sure. I'm just giving you that information. So he gets down near the end of the corridor. Does not go to the door at the very end of the corridor. but he does open the door to the north and head in. Are you going to follow him?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just going to pop you in here. All right, so you are in what amounts to a small office/guard room. You can see a door on the north wall in between some shelves, and a door on the west wall. And there is most of the doors have been just, completely wooden doors. But that one does have a barred opening in it. And you're not in a position to see inside very well because you're on the ceiling. But that is certainly unusual. And go ahead and give me another Modern Languages check, please. Okay. So since you're in this room and there's another guard leaning up against a wall and a guy who is pretty clearly an officer sitting behind the desk, looks like he's doing some paperwork. They both look up as he comes in and they start having a conversation. It's kind of a general conversation. Starts off with just a check. Completed my patrol on the halls for now. Nothing to report. And then they start chit-chatting. It's not particularly interesting to you about what they're talking. You get the impression that they're only going to be talking for a few minutes. So you get a look around the chamber. This corner has some dried foodstuffs, and you think that barrel probably has water in it. And the shelves against the back wall have some like pewter plates and cups and things like that. Not enough for a large group of people. You'd say maybe a dozen in total. They're stacked up and not currently holding anything, but you can tell that some of them have been used more recently than others. There are some boxes that you think might have some paperwork in it, and then there's the paperwork at the desk, but it's not a whole lot of paperwork.
Okay. I think I will scuttle down to the surface of the door and take a peek through the grate.
Okay. All right, so you peek through the grate, and what you can see is a long corridor with many doors along the sides. Each of them does have a similar grate, and there is a guard sitting on a stool in the corner of the room. And he is not being particularly attentive. He appears to be reading something like a cheap, cheap book of some sort. But his weapons are at the ready.
Okay. I think I'll slip down and take a look in through the first door on the north wall.
Okay. So this one here?
Yes.
Okay. So it is just a tiny cell.
Anyone in it?
Nope. It is empty.
All right. Should I check them all or should I wait for somebody to leave the other room?
You could check them pretty quick.
All right. Yeah, I'll check them all, see if there's any prisoners in any of them.
Okay. There are prisoners in 5 of them. And I'm actually going to just go ahead and remove the doors, since for now that doesn't really matter. That way you don't have to do much, since you can see in anyway. I can put them back later if need be. And there are a total of 5 prisoners.
Sorry, just moving down through the hallway to
Yep.
fill in the map spaces. Do any of the prisoners appear to be half-elven?
So you can see, actually, if you mouse over them, you will get a brief description of each of them, I think.
Okay.
If you don't, let me know.
Yep, I am seeing the descriptions. So 4 females and 1 male, huh? Okay.
Yep.
I don't think any of them are the one we are looking for. Oh, yeah. So, just putting out my thoughts, this is probably some kind of a temporary holding cell until they can put them in a permanent one.
Okay.
Or some kind of short-term cells.
All right, so that's something that you can definitely share with the rest of the party when you get back, for sure.
Yep. And then I'm going to slip back into the other room.
All right.
And I'm going to go ahead over, again on the ceiling, over by this door, and wait for somebody to go that way.
Okay. Sure enough, after they finish the conversation, the guy on patrol does head into that chamber.
And I'll follow right along.
It is a small chamber. Now, looking at that door, you think you could squeeze under the bottom.
Okay.
And you think that of the doors that you've passed through, you think that you could have squeezed under the bottom each of those. Certainly as a mouse. Some other forms maybe not, but a mouse would be pretty good for getting under a lot of these.
Okay.
So he comes in. There's just some simple benches. There is very little else in here besides the benches. And he goes to check this door and goes ahead and heads in there.
All right. Staying on his tail.
Okay. Go ahead and move you in. So he heads in there, and what you see is a small chamber. There is a grate with a steel bar door leading into a small cell. There's a bed in there. It is empty, and you can see that there are 2 ventilation ducts to either side. They're pretty small. They are too small for a person to fit in, and they are barred. They're about head height. Very easy for you to get in.
Okay. I think I will leave my friend behind and start crawling through them.
Okay. Left or right?
I'm going to go to the right.
Okay. So you head into a ventilation shaft. It's similar size to the ventilation shafts up above, but it does curve as you crawl inside. And you can see a series of ventilation, grilled ventilation ducts leading away. Approaching the first one, you can see into another cell. Give me an intelligence check.
With no obvious way in or out, huh?
Correct. Okay. Having been, you conclude immediately that you're below roughly those trapdoors. You're in a curved space. Given the numbers, there were over 300 of these in a ring. You were seeing no obvious doors in this. Do you want to slip through the ventilation duct and actually get into one of the cells and look around?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you actually... You should be able to actually move your token in there. It might be tight. I can move your token in if you have trouble. Okay. So that cell does have a person. They seem to be just laying on the bed. They have just an old blanket over themselves. Maybe they're trying to sleep. There is some remains of food on a plate. You can see above you the trapdoor, 6 inches by 6 inches, that you saw from above. And having crossed in, there was a very narrow space between two walls. A wall for the shaft and the wall for the prison cell. And inside you see a much larger opening on the south side of the cell, and there is a depression in the floor going down just a couple inches. And it takes up basically the whole southern half of the cell.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I think I see how this works.
So you can hear some sounds from outside the shaft, back in the room with the guard.
Yep.
Do you want to head back to see what's going on?
Yep.
Okay. So you get back to the... I'll just move you there so you can see what's going on. So it looks like they're bringing one of the prisoners from one of the, what you had concluded was a holding cell, and placing them inside the empty cell that was there.
Mm-hmm.
And after a few minutes, they head back. Do you want to follow them, or do you want to...
I think I'm going to explore around here some more.
Okay.
Or, no, you know what? I will follow them just to see what they do.
Okay.
Because I have a feeling they're going to activate a mechanism or something.
All right. I'll get you back into the guard chamber there.
Okay.
It looks like the one guard who was on patrol is heading back to continue a patrol in the hallway. They are finishing up a conversation about getting that prisoner in there. And it looks like the guy is going back to doing some paperwork at his desk, and this guy is going back to lean against the wall. They do not activate any sort of device that you can tell.
Okay. All right. Going back up to the prison then.
Okay.
I am going to look through the next batch of cells going this way.
All right. You can hold down Alt to not to not be in a fixed block. So if you want to take a look at the prisoners, I have gotten descriptions of each of them on the tokens, so you should be able to mouse over them. You do come to another empty
that
cell.
one's empty. This one interests me. Keep him in mind. Gotta move my map here. Just kind of want to see who's in at least this section. Okay. I think that's far enough. I'm going to go head back to this room here.
Okay.
And I'm just going to wait and observe.
All right. So the person who's been put into this cell is clearly sobbing quietly.
Well, unfortunately, Finn can't do much for her without revealing himself, so he's just going to wait.
Okay. How long are you going to wait?
I will give it a good hour.
Okay. Nothing happens in that hour.
Okay. Well, something causes this to rotate. It's the impression I'm getting.
All right.
It's apparently not every hour. But that's some pretty good information for now. I think I'm going to head out and see if I can find a way to get upstairs.
All right. So back out into the hall?
Yep.
All right. There you go. Back out into the hall. Hold on a second. Let me just move the guy who's on patrol. Actually, it's been an hour, so he is going to be someplace completely different. There we go. All right. So you do know that the stairs at the end of the hall here do go up to the storage area.
Right. So unless they have to pass through the feeding chamber to get to the rest of the prison. This door at the end of the hallway here. Does that look like one I could get through?
No, it does not. That is a much sturdier door than the others, and it definitely goes down to the floor, almost touching it. However, give me an intelligence check. Okay.
Okay. Well, if I can't get through the door, and I seem to remember he didn't open that one, did he?
No, he did not. He didn't even check it. There was at least one other door that you saw him not check as well.
Trying to remember which one that was.
If you go back to the on the hall, I can point out the ones. Like if you go look at the doors, and it'll be like, ah, yes, that's the one that he didn't check, kind of thing.
Okay.
So he did check. All right. So he definitely didn't check this one here. He didn't check this one here. And he didn't check this one here, although, given the shape of the room, you're pretty sure that leads to the same room that this one opens into.
Okay. He did speak through this little opening down here. I'm gonna go take a look at that.
Okay.
Can I actually squeeze through that?
It's an open doorway. They're like space for a door, but there's no door.
Ah,
So it's just like
all right.
an arched opening kind of thing. So yes, you can
I'll
easily get in there.
wander in and see what's going on in here.
All right. So you see 6 more guards sitting around a table. They are all playing cards, betting on whatever card game they're playing. Weapons are all at the ready, but this is obviously a guard room of some kind, but they're not like actively preparing to do something.
They're on call.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to keep going. See what I can see further in.
Okay. So there is another opening there
Yep.
that you can easily get in.
Okay.
And inside this chamber, you see a number of guards, large double doors that are very similar to the double doors outside. You see another doorway on the western wall and a doorway on the eastern wall.
Okay. So if I had to make a guess, those double doors are probably the way to the rest of the facility. Unless they just happen to be facing the right way to be those doors otherwise. Could I make a... Oh, actually. Yeah, could I make a direction sense check on that?
Sure. All right, you're pretty sure that these lead out of the facility.
Okay. So I think I just found the front door. Good to know.
So there
All right.
is, so looking around this room real fast, give me a second. So there's just a few plain benches and a couple of stools here. There is a magical light hanging from the ceiling, and basically, like all of the rooms so far have been lit with what you're pretty sure is continual light spells at various points. The and to the right of the double doors, to the south. So basically, right over here, there is a bell, um, and there is a rope that hangs right by this guy's hands as well.
Okay. Probably to summon the rest of the guard if somebody bursts through, would be my guess. Okay. This room over here appears to be open, so I'll take a peek in there first.
Okay. Also, there is on this side of the door, um, there is a large imperial seal. The elves would have shown you what the imperial seal of the Italian Grand Empire looked like, and there's a large fixture on the wall of that seal. Kind of let you know that you're in a imperial facility kind of thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, this guy looks a little different from the others.
So that chamber has some open crates. They're fairly standard sized. It looks like this guy is shifting around some empty ones, and this guy is sitting behind a desk working on some paperwork.
Okay. What do I notice about this door?
That door back there is sturdy. You might be able to crawl under it.
Okay. I'll go take a peek under it.
Okay. All right. This is very, very tight, so give me a strength check.
Do.
Okay. You are able to squeeze under, and you will not need to make a check to get back out. This chamber does not have any magical light. Can you see in there?
Would I retain my infravision from my Ionstone?
Yes, you would.
Then I should be able to see using that.
Okay, but I mean, can you currently see in the room?
Oh, yes.
Okay, good. I wanted to make sure that I had
many
the
boxes.
Okay, yeah. So this is a large chamber with tall shelves, boxes lining them all. You can't read Talengrin's script, but you just like looking over them, you're pretty sure each one is numbered on the outside, and the numbers are easily removable, swappable kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
And there's a lot of boxes.
Okay. Might be a little too long to do our plan to read things, so I'm going to head back out.
Well, the boxes are all. I mean, they are various sizes. You would say that they're not paperwork boxes.
Ah. Maybe personal belongings.
So you go ahead and crawl on out.
Yep.
Let me see if I had a description for that guy. So the guy behind the desk is not wearing armor. He is middle-aged and wearing a. Let's see, what is he wearing? Give me a second. He's got a cloak on and over a robe. And you don't feel like it's a uniform per se. Like the guards have all been wearing uniforms, like definite uniforms, and this guy is not.
Okay, so he's probably in some kind of an official capacity, either warden, deputy warden, or some kind of a clerk. Would be my guess. But if he's not talking to anybody, I'm just going to move back into here and check out this other door.
Okay. All right. You can squeeze under that door if you want.
Yep. Let's see what's in here.
Okay. So you squeeze under that door, and it is pretty obviously an office. There's a pair of chairs on a large carpet. The carpet is also of elven make, I'm pretty sure. A desk and a chair. Just to the the side of the door is a bird cage. The bird does not, the like parakeet in it does not tweet as you come in. But the most interesting thing in this room is a large diagram on this far wall, and it is a big wheel made of metal, and it can be moved. And it is divided up into small wedges in which numbers have been slotted into each one. There's a few of them that are empty. There's a second smaller one that... give me an intelligence check.
Nope, not this time.
Okay. It's not a circular. There's a smaller diagram next to it that's not circular. It is just a pair of like square boxes in a row, and all of them can take tiny pieces of slate upon which numbers have been chalked. Again, you don't know Talengrin's script. You don't know what the numbers are, but you can just tell that these are numbers.
I get the feeling that's prisoner numbers. Now we just have.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now we just have to figure out which number is our prisoner.
He has a small table back here with it's a round table with some like round doors in it, and behind the desk are a pair of large non-matched cabinets, and they are closed.
Okay, and I'm still invisible, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I think this might be worth resuming human form here.
Okay.
And I'm going to start seeing what I can open and what I can see.
Okay. The circular little corner cabinet that is locked, but it's
Okay.
like a small table kind of thing. It's only like waist high.
Okay, well, in order to not leave evidence of my being here, I'll just leave that one alone for now.
Okay.
And check these.
All right. Those are not locked.
Okay.
Um,
Take a peek inside.
okay. You open them up, and there are boxes and boxes of files.
Okay. And that's in both of them.
Yeah.
And then I will turn around and take a look at the desk if there's any drawers.
There are, but they are locked.
Okay. So someone somewhere has a key that lets me into these things. And if I had to guess, they're probably not going to part with it willingly.
Probably not.
Okay. I think I will go hunker down. Oh, my view is vanishing on me here. I will go hunker down up against this wall right here and wait a little while, invisibly.
Okay. How long?
I'll give it at least an hour to start.
Okay.
See if anybody comes in.
Let me check to see if someone does. All right. No one comes in that hour.
Okay.
Now, while waiting there, the bird does, the parakeet does chirp occasionally, and you can hear the, like you can't make anything out, but you can hear the people in the outer room talking to each other. Like because you're hunkering down and being very quiet, you can hear them occasionally move around, talking to each other, that kind of thing.
Okay. With Braxton's ring on, can I make it out at all?
No, but that's definitely because it's too muffled.
Okay.
Now, there is a keyhole in this door, and that door is definitely locked.
I think I'll wait one more hour.
You probably see through that keyhole.
Oh, yeah, okay. I will go take a peek through the keyhole then.
Okay. You can see the people out there. Like one or two of them kind of thing.
Okay. I'll keep watch through that and listen in. And if I notice anybody moving towards the door, I'll move back to that other position.
Well, since you can see someone, you could definitely use that ring.
Well, I will.
All right. You want to try
That's
to
what I
read
mean by
any?
listening to them.
You want to try to read any documents? They're just having normal conversations about, like, there was a
Okay.
race that they were following. They got some news from the supply run. They're chatting about who won, that kind of thing.
You know, I think I will start leafing through some of these. Actually, just because I comprehend the language doesn't mean I can read it. Since Finn doesn't have reading.
No, you can still read it.
Oh.
The ring lets you read it.
Yep.
In that case, I'll start on this one and just kind of flip through a few progressively, but skipping a bunch as I go, just to try to get the theme of what we're looking for.
Okay. So
the theme of what the documentation is.
Right. So you pick out the first one, just one at random, and let me do a quick roll. Give me a second. Let me see what you pull out. Okay. All right. So, you pull one out. You get a name, and it's lists the individual as a male human. You can make out the number for the prisoner. The numbers are pretty high, and you can kind of guess that, like, every prisoner that comes in is just one higher than the other, kind of thing.
Right.
And given the numbers, it's well into the thousands. So a lot of people have been imprisoned in here.
Right. Does it say
Yep.
anything about released or release date?
So it does not indicate release date. Well, it does, but you don't know what the current date is, so that doesn't matter to you. It does have a sentence of 19 years on this one individual. It lists his profession as being a merchant, and the crime that he was convicted of was smuggling slaves out of the country.
Okay.
I'm
going to pause it looking at documents.
Well, hold on a second. You do have the prisoner number, and glancing over at the diagram on the wall, taking a couple minutes, you'd be able to quickly find where he is on that ring.
Okay. That's what I was going to say. I was going to try to see if I could correlate the number.
Yeah. So looking at the diagram, each of the pieces of slate that's slotted into the wheel has a prisoner number on it, and there's a number below it. The number below that prisoner number says 18.
Interesting. Okay.
The elf guy that we're trying to, the half elf guy we're trying to save, is he a later or earlier prisoner run?
Well, he disappeared. He was rumored to have been killed 20 years ago.
So I'm going to rifle through and see if I can locate his name. Are the names like right at the top of each paper?
Yes. Unfortunately, you quickly realize that these are not organized in any particular fashion.
Okay, then.
They are just put in wherever. Now, I will say that if you know the number, you can also correlate it with numbers in the chamber with all the boxes. Like you put that together as well. That those are personal effects, and you can go in there and find a particular prisoner's personal effects.
Okay. Okay. I have a plan then, and it's time for me to get out of here. So I think I will take the form of a mouse, squeeze under the door.
Before you do that, how many do you think you'd rifle through? How many do you think it would take for you to realize that there's no particular order?
That shouldn't take too long,
Okay.
because I would probably pick up on numerical or alphabetical pretty quickly. So
Okay, so let's go with 5. I'll give you 5 more kind of prisoner dossiers to figure out. I'll just give you some more, possibly some more information. All right. So after that one that you looked at, you pull one out, and this was a male dwarf, and his sentence was 44 years. He was listed as having no profession. And his he was convicted of quite a few counts of crimes. It runs down indicating that he sold stolen slaves, tried to bribe some public officials. There was an arson of a well-to-do member of society of their house, and he further, after all of that, was convicted of trying to organize a prison riot. Then you pull out a dossier of a male half-elf. No profession listed. Served 14 years. And he was convicted of... sorry, his sentence was 23 years. Sorry. And he was convicted of organizing attempts to free elven slaves. Next up...
And that's not our half elf that we're looking for.
You don't know. A human woman convicted, sentenced for 33 years for attacking merchants and travelers using unlicensed magic and summoned creatures, and attempting to bribe a judge. Next up... a human female. Her position was her profession was actually a member of a temple. Sentenced for 14 years, and her crime that she was convicted of was publicly advocating abolition of slavery from her position of religious authority. And I need to roll another one because I got an empty cell. Thanks, dice. Give me another empty cell. There we go. And then the fifth one, and this is kind of when you realize that there's no rhyme or reason to how these are organized. A human male, and his sentence was 14 years for selling stolen slaves. And is just listed as like a potter kind of thing job.
Okay.
And that's when you'd realize that there's no rhyme or reason.
Okay, but you did notice I did notice the personal effects in the boxes thing. So I think we have our path for finding our prisoner, but I don't have what's needed to locate anything that would belong to him, so I need to get out now.
Okay. So you
So I
take the form of a mouse.
Yep.
Okay.
And squeeze under the door.
All right.
And work my way back to the hallway. To the grate. There.
So you should be able to make your way back there.
And then at the grate, I will change into a hummingbird.
All right.
Fly up through the grate and work my way out.
Okay.
Going by the air elemental at full speed again.
Okay. So it is going to try to attack you. It does not hit you with its blasts of air as you are trying to fly out.
Good.
Okay. So you've been down at this point 3 to 4 hours, give or take.
Okay. Is everyone still at the shack, or have they gone back to camp?
After 3 to 4 hours of rain, what would you guys have done?
I think Solas would have said that either we get into some kind of shelter or get back to the camp, since we don't want to make ourselves sick during this operation.
Leva would stay, definitely. She'd wait.
Braxon's either going to stay or he's going to go back with Ockar to keep an eye on things.
Well, which one would it be?
Probably go back with Ockar.
Okay. Lafdul? Did he step away for a second, or is he muted? Lafdul, you're muted. Maybe he stepped away.
He didn't mark himself as stepping away in any of the group chats.
Yep.
You know, it's a shame Lafdul doesn't have some sort of spell that could keep the rain off of himself.
He did.
I know, I was joking. I was just winding him up in case he was listening.
He must have stepped away. All right. Well, either way, when Finn returns, Leva would be in the shack. That would give her protection, but no one else would have been able to be in there. Solas went back. Braxon went to keep Ockar company. So I don't know where Lafdul is, but probably somewhere else. So Leva would be the one on watch, I guess, for Finn's return.
Yeah, Solas would basically be resting for the time he is going to be preparing for the time when he is going to sneak inside.
Okay.
Okay. So Leva would feel a hummingbird land on her shoulder.
She looks over and she says, "Hi, I'm back. Did you have any problems?"
And hop off her shoulder, resume human form, and say, no real problems.
Good. Did you find them?
I think I know how to find him,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going to take some searching. And I wanted to see if anyone had a way to see if we could locate something that belongs to this guy in a room full of boxes.
Well,
So I figure we might as well go back and talk to the whole party.
all right.
Okay. So you get back to the camp. Send someone off to get Ockar and Braxon, and you guys return to the camp.
I relay everything I noticed,
Mm-hmm.
including about the prison and how I think it's a giant wheel,
A giant wheel.
and that I think the control mechanism is in the warden's office, which is right up by the front doors.
Did you notice whether there was magic, possible magic, or whether it was a no magic zone? In the no magic zone?
Well, my invisibility kept working through the whole time I was in there.
Oh, okay, yes.
So it could be it's only in that entrance.
I reckon that Leva would have become familiar enough with the people who came or who accompanied us when we came here. So she could actually use a sending to figure out whether they know anything that belonged to the person we are looking for.
You mean one of the elves?
Yes.
Back at, you would have already gotten the impression that they don't have any information about that kind of thing.
You said that the records had their prisoner number and that that would correlate with the boxes of that were stored there.
Right.
So
Which is why we need to be able to find. Well, I was thinking if we could find something in a box that obviously belonged to him, we get the number from the box, go over to the warden's office, correlate it from there to which number on the wheel he is, and then figure out how to make the wheel move.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Bring him to the door, and have another team ready to get him out of the cell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think since we don't know any things of his that would require us to basically open all of the boxes.
Maybe not.
So I still think that me and Lafdul are going to visit the warden's office.
So he's been in the cell for 20 years. I was going to say, when you're a mouse, can you smell a box and tell whether the belongings belong to a human or a half-elf? But
Probably not.
I guess the scent
If he
would
hasn't touched his
wear off.
belongings in 20 years, I
Yeah, I
doubt
guess they.
would smell
I
it
guess,
like him at all.
guess the scent would be gone by then.
One main problem I can think of is do any of us know like how to locate objects?
Yeah.
The problem with that is we don't know what items belong to him. If we
Yeah,
knew
that's
that, we'd
why.
be able to track that.
That's why we are going to check the records.
Oh, Finn,
So I'll explain the filing system.
yeah, the bits of paper you were looking at. Did it say what was in the boxes?
Did it all?
Like on the outside of the box?
On
Or
the
no,
you
outside
mean
of the box or
uh,
on the paperwork?
there was no record of in those documents of what was in the personal effects boxes.
Okay.
Was there
But
names on the records?
Yeah, names were on the records.
What was the name of the half brother that we are looking for?
That is Alaro Talengran.
Can you
Yeah, I can type it in.
write
Wait.
it down there?
Wait, could they cast locate object in the ward if they were in the warden's office looking for a file with that name on it?
No.
So I think the most specific you can get with locate object is finding a piece of paper.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It was like
Uh,
it seemed like a clever idea in my head.
If you could locate
yeah.
text that way, yeah, it would work. But no, locate object just finds you very general items. So it would be like ladder, longsword,
Mhm.
piece of paper, that kind of thing.
If you had keyring,
You
you
ca- you
couldn't
cast it looking
couldn't
for-
use locate object to find which key is the right key.
No, because again, it would still just be key.
Yeah.
So in that
I
office,
said
if
you
you
couldn't.
cast locate object for paper, you can light up the whole room.
Right.
I'm looking at the one here that has the description of detect hidden and secret things. Could that be useful?
Might be useful. It depends on. I don't think you've used it at all, so.
No, we haven't used it yet.
But it is more like you'd kind of realize that it's more for like, is there a secret door in this room?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing.
Solas asks Finn if there was a way to make sure that the parakeet is asleep or quiet in the room. So when me and Lafdul go there, it doesn't suddenly start screaming.
For as long as I was invisible, it didn't start making a lot of noise.
There was a cloth in there that you could put over the top of the cage.
You could take the wand of somnolence with you.
I would prefer to use the cloth if there was cloth. Since that's the easier solution.
We could leave a present as we leave and cast animal growth on the parakeet.
Did Finn tell Braxon and the others about the few people that he checked the records of that were fairly nice people?
Yeah, I'd explain everything I read.
Okay. Well, Braxon will say, well, if we wanted to leave a present, bearing in mind our primary objective is to get out the correct person, we could let out our guy and throw a prisoner in his cell, throw a prison guard in his cell, and then take out a good person and throw a prison guard in their cell and basically take over the prison. You replace all the prison guards with good people and get them to let out all the good people and then leave en masse.
So you're saying that we would
That would
attack
be
them and
that would be a lot of coordination too.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because
and
I get
also,
the feeling the wheel is controlled from the warden's office.
and
Yeah.
if you don't have the leave someone to take care of the prisoners, there's a risk that they would die.
Well, that's why I'm saying we hand over the prison to good prisoners.
And what happens to the good prisoners once the next supply caravan comes?
Yeah, there is that. Okay, so we can leave them in there.
So
And just say that when Leva is around to hear that.
Braxton just said it.
Leva's going to sign up as new wardeness.
Leva is, she looks at Braxon with a bad. Makes her own thoughts, but
Well, if
yeah.
he notices the black look, he's going to say, them that's saying it. You tell them how it can work.
Leva just looks. She doesn't say a word.
Remember, Leva, if we get this guy out and he does gain power, he can take care of everyone else.
That's
That
true.
is true.
Yeah, pretty
And
much.
he would most likely release everyone who is not a hardened criminal.
How would you know? You haven't met this guy. You don't know anything about him. He's
Why would he keep political enemies of the current administration that is his enemy in there?
He needs to have a sense of justice, otherwise what's the point in even doing this?
Leva just laughs at that. She says, bah.
By the way, where did Lafdul wait? In Sakad you just appeared, but you didn't say where he was waiting. Was he in the rain?
I would say probably just back at camp.
Yeah.
Finn,
He
when
was just singing in the rain.
Finn, when you were down there, did you get a rough idea of how many people staff the prison?
Definitely saw a few. So I'll explain all the ones I saw, but I didn't look at any of the sleeping rooms. So
Yeah, but do you think that's the whole prison staff? Did you say?
I would guess that that's one shift.
Did you say there were thousands of prisoners in there?
Could I have counted that on the wheel real quick?
You might have been able to estimate it.
Okay.
I think he estimated it last time.
He did, but Give me an intelligence check to like try to refine that guess. Yeah, so you'd say somewhere around 360, give or take.
Yeah, one for each degree.
I mean,
Or
I guess if they.
give me another intelligence check.
I'm blaming this one on you, Tom Brown.
At least it wasn't me for once.
Okay. And one for each degree, sure.
But not all of them were full.
No, and you wouldn't have a good feel for that other than just it's a fraction. It's a
When you said 360 degrees, can Braxon recall how many days this planet might have in a year?
yeah, 365.
Right. So it doesn't quite line up.
Well, I did say 360 give or take.
Yeah.
It
Or
is an estimate, so
Braxon will say
So-
there's 365 days in the year of this world. Maybe it's 365. But he'll also say maybe this thing with the wheel lowers the number of prison guards they need.
Braxon, give me an intelligence check.
Okay. Right. Where's my thing to click on? D. Clicky. Check. Oh.
So, Braxon, you recall that being told that everyone who goes to this prison is gets sentences in years,
Right.
and if there are enough cells for 1 day per year,
They sentence one person to prison every day and release one person every day. So it might be set up so that we are supposed to wait for the exact day of the year when the guy went in to get.
Not quite that. That's I don't think you'd conclude that. The sentences are always like X number of years. No one gets a sentence of 3 years, 9 months.
Yeah.
You can associate that how you want.
So maybe instead of being controlled, maybe the wheel only moves once a day and does it on its own.
Yeah.
In which case, back to what you were saying, we may have to wait for a specific day to get the prisoner we need out.
No,
Yeah,
we can get the prisoner out if we find out where the cell is.
Oh, that's true, because
Also
if we
the
polymorph him, he can go through those vents.
Or I just go and get him.
Or the trapdoor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if they can put food in the trapdoor, then we can get stuff out.
Actually, putting the food through the trapdoor supports that theory, because why do it via trapdoor if you could just go around and do it in the circle?
They can't, since there's only one door to the prison cell. All of the cells have share the one door.
Yeah,
So-
that door is only openable when it's on their day for release, so they have to get stuff from the slot.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's supported. The thing with the turning the wheel, if you had a set time, for example, and the wheel would just turn every minute or two, you'd have enough time to put some food in.
Did Ockar see new prisoners being brought in?
We saw supplies getting brought in.
Oh, I thought there were some people with like rags.
Lafdul saw that 2 prisoners got released.
Yeah, 2 prisoners got released.
Right.
2 prisoners got released, and we also saw a bunch of crates in the
Crates and
guys
barrels.
going in. Crates and
Right.
barrels. So it seemed like it was a supply and prisoner retrieval.
I seem to remember that nobody ever got released from here.
No one's ever escaped. People get released all the time.
Okay.
This is
Because you-
just
Misunderstanding
a
misunderstanding on my
keep
part.
them forever.
Yeah, people are not sentenced to, like, everyone who goes here is not sentenced to life. No.
Well, except the half brother of the
Well, no,
Empress.
right.
that is,
I said everyone. This is not a life sentence for every person who goes here, is what I'm saying.
yeah.
Okay, so
This is only just for the worst criminals of the Empire that are deemed most dangerous.
who out of our group can cast spells like teleport?
Leva.
Lower.
You
I was-
haven't verified whether or not you can actually teleport from inside
Well,
out.
I was thinking of a way to verify it and to possibly get the handle of getting information more quickly. If we could get Leva into the warden's office and have her kind of memorize what it looks like for teleport purposes, we could have her do a test to see if she could teleport from there back to the camp.
Why
Well-
shouldn't she be able to?
Teleporting, you don't need to know you don't need to memorize the location where you are to teleport out. You need to know
I
the
meant to tell-
destination.
If you'll let me finish.
Okay, sorry. I thought you were done.
And the idea is we could teleport back in and out into the warden's office and use that to investigate his files and stuff to try to isolate our prisoner over time.
Mm-hmm.
So
We could go further than that because
real fast though, real fast. The elves have already tried to teleport in, taking the risk of teleporting too high or too low, and they were
And?
unable to.
But one thing that could be done is a dimension door into one of the cells
Maybe
back
if
out,
they are
and back
anti-magic,
out.
but yeah.
And the teleport would not have to go in and out. The teleport would, for example, be okay to do it from the warden's office to the vent.
Yeah.
And that would still be inside, so it would be inside to the inside. And
Mhm.
what it actually could be, you are saying very clearly that the papers are totally unordered in some ways. Therefore, just grab a handful of or an armful of papers and teleport back if it's possible, and have people read those things in peace and quiet would actually make more sense than everybody going to the warden's office at the danger of being discovered. And then in a hurry try to go through the papers.
Yeah.
Problem with that is that everyone couldn't read them.
You don't need everyone to read them. We have the time to read them. You have your glass to read them very fast, and
Wait,
the others could be hasted, and at
Is your
least one
plan-
other.
Is your plan to take the papers out of the office?
Yes, because they're not ordered. Nobody cares.
I guess.
Well,
But
Just let's say take a backpack or something and fill it with paper and teleport out.
yeah, but lots of missing paper would be noticed.
Wow.
I mean
Who
that's not
says? How
that's not
tight were
ter-
the files? How tight were they, Finn?
Ald.
I mean, there were a lot of files, but like if you're taking enough to actually read them and like get through them and stuff like that, then you're taking a significant number. Like if you took one file, that might not be noticed right away, unless someone did an inventory.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're taking like 20 or 30 prisoners worth or more, Finn would say that unless you're picking and choosing random ones out of every single, box in there kind of thing, then that would probably be noticed at a glance because a big chunk would be missing.
So what about if she, for example, if she were to take 10 out of each box?
That would probably be noticeable.
5.
You're probably looking
I
at
think
one,
that-
maybe 2 out of
You
each
would need an
box.
intelligence check to see if you take enough to not be noticeable
And
or
Mhm.
something.
and even so, like the value of that, the less you take out, the value of taking out anything at all kind of drops, kind of thing. You know.
I feel like
Old, I have a
I-
So,
question.
but
Hold on. Ockar, what are you trying to say?
I feel like our best bet to not clue them off would be to read them in the office, because if we steal
Yeah.
too many from the office, then they might catch on if they notice chunks missing, even if they're not organized. Because it is true that they don't care enough to organize the files, but they probably would notice if large numbers of them were missing from each box.
so what we could do is we could. I'm still going by the teleport. Leva could actually teleport. How many pounds? Could at least put 1 or 2 people in. So they would not. They would not need to go. To be that careful going through the whole area. And then she herself could dimension door out, and wait for the people to wait and come back in, dimension door back in, if somebody comes closer.
Question
Uh,
for Finn.
Solas
I
is
had
trying
a-
to say something.
Yes.
Yeah, and I have few questions. First is for the spell comprehend languages, since it says that one speaking creature or written text, but would in this case the box itself, could you read all of the papers in the box?
I would basically say that for the amount of time that's up, you could at least read one language, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That one written text might count for a big old book kind of thing.
Yeah.
But when you're going through files, I would not be like, no, it's only going to work for one sheet of paper. That's
Yeah.
super duper dickish.
Yeah, that would be the literal.
It is. I don't think that's the
implementation
intention.
of
I don't think that's the
yeah.
intention.
When
And
you say that,
second question was for Finn. You said that the guard only checked the storage area up the stairs. Didn't go in and patrol it.
I saw him pretty much just like look in, right?
Yeah, I mean, like you would say that he went up there, scanned the room, but didn't like go poking through all the boxes.
Okay, I have a plan how to get into the warden's office, read the documents there, and get out.
Okay, real fast.
Tell-
If it involves a giant
Ockar,
wooden duck, I'm not doing it.
Ockar had a question.
No.
And me.
And Braxon.
actually, I want to hear Solas' plan first before I ask questions.
Okay, Braxon, you had a question?
Yeah, and it's turned into 2. First one is the files that Finn looked through. Were they loose files that were on the desk that hadn't been filed away?
No, he looked in boxes.
He looked in the boxes, right? So I'm wondering if it's possible that those are filed in a logical order, seeing as it doesn't make sense for someone to just stuff documents in a random order. It could be that those boxes are based on when the person's going to get out or something like that. Was there any writing at all on the boxes?
I mean, you certainly haven't seen the files at my dad's office. They just shove the papers into all kinds of boxes to be scanned for later.
So, so Finn would be able to say that number one, if there was a rhyme or reason to it, he couldn't tell. Keep in mind that he doesn't normally know how to read.
Yeah.
The magic imbued that ability, but so he did mention alphabetical and something else.
Numerical?
Yeah, numerical. So numerical for prison number.
Yeah.
It is not sorted by either of those.
Okay, so the other question Braxton's got is the boxes in the storage area that Finn looked at, were they in numerical order?
He didn't.
Was it like
he wasn't able to tell that because he was just able to tell that based on the few characters used, those are probably numbers on them. And then once he actually was starting to
right.
look at the documents, he was like, yeah, those are numbers.
Okay, cool.
I have a question for Solas.
Mm-hmm.
What if you were to place a little charm on someone, like a certain compulsive order, wait a day, then go through the nicely organized system?
Charm on who and at which
I don't know, someone.
situation the scene is. That would be something that would be quite detectable,
Well,
and they would remember it.
They do, yes.
Hmm.
But can I now tell the plan that I had?
Sure.
Yes, go
Please.
ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. First, me and most likely Lafdul go in the same way that same style that we went last time, but we go into the storage area since it seems that the guard doesn't really patrol there. In there, I can cast Etherealness and use that to get me and Lafdul to the warden's office. And when I'm there, I can start going through the files while Lafdul searches the rest of the room. And once we are done, also Lafdul has to be the lookout for noticing if there's someone is coming. We use Etherealness again to get back to the storage area and then come back up with the information.
I like this plan.
You're going down invisibly or not?
Yes, invisibly.
Does that survive etherealness?
Yes. Etherealness is not hostile action.
That's not my question. My question is, when you're going ethereal, it's quite different to staying visible and or touchable in some ways. So if you are just ethereal and you turn into something non-ethereal afterwards, are you still invisible?
The two spells are they don't affect each other in any way, really.
Yeah.
Number one, when
So he'd be invisible
when you're
even while he's
ethereal, when you're ethereal, you're effectively invisible to anyone on the prime material plane that can't see into the ethereal plane anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
yes,
if
this means that
if you're standing in the middle of a room and you cast etherealness, as far as anyone else is concerned, unless they've succeeded in making a spellcraft check, they know the spells. The two spells are identical.
Mm-hmm.
You've disappeared from sight.
Okay. So, but in that particular case, the only person reading would be Solas, and that may not be enough.
he's got the speed reading glasses, so he could do it a lot faster than Finn.
Yeah,
And he would
but
have...
but for one thing, it's one person. There are lots of files.
He was-
but
Maybe we could send Finn with them as a rodent or something to help out with Braxon's ring to speed it up.
Finn can't turn into animals anymore this day.
I meant
Yeah.
another day if this ends up taking more than one day.
Yeah, but I was saying that this was for this day the plan.
Okay,
I mean,
that makes sense.
Real fast, if they don't get through all the files, then they can just try to pick up where they left off next time, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that sounds good to me. And
Yeah.
Lafdul, I suggest that maybe you don't go around picking locks in the warden's office, because doesn't that leave like evidence of tampering with the locks?
You can also reverse pick and lock a thing. And
But I
who's
mean,
to say
like,
I was...
scratches on the in the lock with the lockpicks and stuff.
You would need to know to look there in the first place.
But like I
depends
would
on the
allow
skill.
you to try to pick a lock without leaving those telltale signs, but you'd suffer a penalty if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Though, are you capable of going today, Lafdul, since I think you used your invisibility and
I haven't broken it.
polymorph,
My polymorph's gone.
so you can't go today.
Not really. Not under my own power. Well, I do have Alter Self and Reduce Self, but
but you can't use those to
Get out.
get out.
So this might be a tomorrow plan.
No,
Yeah, if
you
he
can
used.
you can still go. Is there anyone else that can polymorph themselves?
Well, I'm polymorphing myself.
Yeah. Is there anyone else that can polymorph
I
themselves?
do not have that
Yeah.
kind of power.
Leva can polymorph herself, and you can polymorph yourself now with the potion.
Yeah, I can. We'll use the potion up.
It might
That's
be
that's the story of potions. That's what
May-
they're for.
maybe we could send Leva and Solas in there, and they could do the searching together.
Well, one reason was why Lafdul was coming with me was that I would like that there's a lookout keeping an eye to the door. Since there's always risk that someone is coming.
You could take Braxon
ready-
for that.
I'm ready.
Lafdul is the
to
most sneakiest one and has best abilities to detect someone.
Finn just put up an addendum in one of the chats. I suggest we read it.
Mm-hmm.
You might want to read it out loud for the viewers, since unless you
Yeah.
don't want the viewers to know.
Finn's addendum. Finn goes as well, but
No, let him read it himself.
Oh. Maybe if he wants to.
He said he's.
Oh, he's AFK.
Yeah,
So
he's
then I'll
AFK.
read it since he's AFK. He goes as well, but stands by in the air dock. If he can tell Finn what cell he's in, I can go to him and give him one of the polymorph potions.
Mm-hmm.
That,
How many
that'll
of those
probably
do we have? How many
I think we
polymorph
only
oil
have the
potions do we
one.
have?
Hey,
We only have
mine.
one.
I have 2.
So we have
Then we have-
3.
Mm-hmm.
So
And-
Lafdul
and
could go
Braxton has-
today with the polymorph potion.
Yeah. So we could send Finn and Solas and Lafdul down there, and Leva as well if she's willing. And they could go down there and do some searching in the warden's office with Lafdul's lookout and Finn near the vent.
One reason I was planning on just me and Lafdul is that also more people will cause more disruptions or potential causes of alarm for the guards
I was
to
thinking,
notice.
couldn't Braxon's owls not necessarily bonded to him? Could that not be lent? It has powers of observation.
Braxton's what?
Oh, you mean
Hularat.
Ulurat? Yeah,
And you can
have
make him invisible with the area of effect if it's a creature.
Yeah, but he would have to stay in the area also.
He could go and talk to the parakeet.
If you was to use polymorph and had Hularat in your pocket, Hularat would turn into part of you, and then
I'm going to be back in my normal form when I'm searching the files. But if
I know.
anyone would use Hulurat, it would be
Let him
Lafdul
finish.
as a
Let him
help
finish.
for
Let
the
him
lookout.
finish. Let him finish.
I know you would turn back into your form. I'm saying that's how you would get Hularat in and out. You get Hularat to shrink down and go back in your pocket and come up, and I can give Hularat to either of you.
Mm-hmm.
But Lafdul, you said that you had a potion of polymorph.
Yeah.
So you could go today then.
Yeah, but it's up to him to use it or not. And
Yeah.
and like some people said, it's best to use it for the extraction. I
Well, we
gave
have,
it to I gave it to Braxon because we thought that he might need to come down as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have.
I got a quick question.
Mhm.
How many files did Finn think there was in total? Can we estimate how long it would take to go through them all? Is it like a day's work or a week's work?
Well, it depends on exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
The names are near the top.
Yeah.
It would take a little bit longer if you're just trying to associate names and numbers.
Yeah.
And it would take longer still if you want to fully read the dossiers.
I feel like the best way to handle this would be to skim through the files and just look for names, since we know the name of the guy.
Yeah.
Solas would be at first looking just for the names.
Similarly, if you want to, like, skim through. It would take about the same amount of time to skim through looking at a single other piece of information besides the name, whether
Yeah.
it's the prisoner number or some other bit of information on there, like what their sentence is or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like the best way to handle it would be name and number, if nothing else.
seeing
Because
as
with the number, we'd be able to locate them.
seeing as everyone seemed not interested in the idea of breaking out other people, we know the name of the guy we need. That's the only information we need to look at on the piece of paper. If we find that name, then we can look at the rest of the information. So
Yeah.
from that point of view, we're basically turning through 1,000 bits of paper, or however many that
So-
Finn thinks is in the room in the boxes.
So, I mean, Finn, what? I know I haven't told you. What is your starting guess as to how many dossiers there are?
Many? How many boxes did I see?
The cabinets were fairly full.
Okay, let me explain what I'm asking. I'm wondering whether having an extra person in the room to look through the boxes, which would presumably half the time, would make it a thing achievable within, is it 3 hours? The polymorph lets us stay down there.
The potion may operate with a different amount on a different amount of time than. The
Oh
spell,
yeah, it might be more or
FYI.
less. Yeah.
Yeah, some reliable and
Which is why, if possible, for me and Lafdul to go today inside, it would be pretty much best if Leva were to shrink Lafdul before we go, and Lafdul were to use the potion of polymorph to get back.
Or he's got alter self and stuff like that. He doesn't even need to use a potion to get back.
He can't change small enough to get through the grates.
Oh, right. Then yeah.
you can't. I can reduce myself down to like 1 inch.
Oh, then yes, he can.
Can you?
He
Yeah,
can
90%.
reduce himself. That's a separate power.
Yeah,
He'd have to
I
use 2
got
powers, but yeah, he can get himself
Yeah.
small.
Yeah, so
Okay.
he can get himself back out. We just need if
Well, then Leva would just have to reduce her when he goes down.
would Leva be
If
willing
Leva
to do
has
that?
reduced.
Wow.
So real fast, there was a question about having more people reading the material. Number one, it's going to depend on what methods they're using to read the material. Note that if there's 2 people, Solas with his glasses, with his lens of speed reading, and someone else, you're looking at that's kind of like 4 people. Because Solas counts as 3, and the other person counts as 1.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really fast for Solas.
Right. So, because it allows him to read things 3 times faster.
Yeah.
I'm good with
Well,
the
Leva
plan.
could haste. Sorry.
Haste would not speed up the speed reading. So if someone else were hasted, then it would be like 5 people. 1 person counting
Yes,
as
someone
2,
else,
and
not
I know.
Solas.
1 person counting as 2, and Solas counting as 3.
Exactly.
I'm just clarifying that.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, and the reason why Solas suggests that only he and Lafdul, like I said earlier, is to minimize the risks of being noticed, since comprehend languages is a spell that has vocal components.
well, let's handle like this.
Well, that's why Leva memorized vocalize, but she doesn't need to tell you all of these things, does she?
What is Ockar saying? Sorry.
Well, let's handle this like this. Is everyone okay with Solas and Lafdul heading down right now?
I think they're not enough. I think that there could easily be another person who reads at double speed.
Would you be willing? Do you want to go down with them and cast haste on yourself and help with the reading?
Leo would do that, but she doesn't want to go where she isn't wanted, and she got the feeling that she isn't wanted. So she knows she's not.
It's not specifically towards Leva.
No, it's against everybody else.
Yeah, because it's more people means more
It's not
risks
like I
and,
haven't
Anyway, Leva
expressed the
told her
same
that
thing before.
Leva retracted her agreement. So there, go.
Well, actually, I was going to suggest that you come along, but the next day, I mean, does it really have
Next-
to be today?
Next day is another day. So next
Yeah,
day,
I
yes,
know.
okay. We can do it
But
next day.
we have a tangible objective. We can prepare fully for it, rather than half-baked attempt today.
Well, it's not.
I mean,
so-
I do have all the spells prepared that
Yeah, that's.
not-
I need.
I don't.
no, but we
I.
we can get rid of some of the files today.
Yeah,
We're not sure this is a one-day task.
Well,
Mhm.
I just want to get this handled and put it to a vote. Do we want to handle this today or do we wait for tomorrow? My
Let me-
vote is for today.
Let me add one thing to that. So, let's say that it takes, if you go down tomorrow and you get through a bunch of stuff and you realize that you still have more to do, then that would be another day on top of that. If you go down today and realize that you still have more to do, then that just means that you have tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. With that added on, let's vote on it. I vote that they go down today.
We
I
we
vote
need to
also.
we need to do something today, as we're not sure that we can get it all done in one day. I think Leva, thank you for the offer of the polymorph potion, but I shouldn't use it today. If it's assessed that we can definitely finish tomorrow, then maybe I'll come down with a polymorph potion.
Well, right now I just want to get the vote out of the way on if we want them to go down today. So we have
Yeah.
2 for yay. Finn?
Well, Finn wanted to bring up another point about 5 minutes ago, but couldn't get a word in edgewise.
go ahead and bring it up.
So back to the addendum I was talking about. If they find what cell he's in, Finn could be waiting at the prison area in the air vents. Go to that cell, get him a potion of polymorph, guide him out as everyone else extracts the other way.
If you
Yeah.
have enough shapeshifting to still do that today, then we can do that too.
Well, that's just it. I can't do it today.
Then maybe we can leave that for a tomorrow thing based on how things
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, but I still say, for my vote, I would still say, yeah, go ahead and get some of it at least look through, because there's
So
a
then-
lot to look through, and we may be doing this for several nights.
So that's 3 yays. Lafdul?
Yeah.
If I would say that if Leva is capable of going down there, that she'll be able to do something useful.
Well, we're not debating on that right now. We're voting on Lafdul and Solas going down today at all. So
I
so
think
far we
well,
Braxon-
my vote is that Leva should go too, unless there is a damn good reason why she shouldn't, because she's capable of looking after herself and she can do something useful.
well, we can
Well,
discuss that.
she's not going today,
Hold
and
on, real
she's
fast,
about to vote, so-
We already had determined that she doesn't want to go down today, so we were just discussing these two.
And so, Lafdul, are you adamant against it? Like, if
I'm
you
not
don't want to do
adamant against it. The party wants me to do it, I'll do it. But
Okay.
know, it's kind of like,
So, we
no,
haven't-
you made a good enough reason. It's
So
Has to
we
be
have
done
a
today.
neutral from Lafdul.
yeah, pretty much neutral, I guess.
So 3 yays, 1 neutral. Leva,
Leva says, yeah, why not? It
4
helps.
yays, and I think all that's left is Braxon.
How long?
Well, I already said I think the 3 people
Oh.
should go down.
So
I think the 3
That's-
people should go down because Leva's got skills. She's had the
Well-
ability to go down there today.
Braxon, we'd already determined that Leva wants to go down to tomorrow, not today.
She can
Yeah,
go down tomorrow as well.
Leva said she will not go down today.
Okay.
So
She offered, it was rejected, so she said, okay, I'm not going.
It,
Yeah,
wa-
so-
it
Too
wasn't
late.
rejected. Wasn't rejected by me.
It's too late. It was rejected by the people who would
I
go
actually
then.
wanted you to go with.
And I'm sorry, but we didn't especially ask you for your permission.
Well, okay, but yeah, so we have it
Yes, that
determined.
counts,
We
to
have the
be fair.
votes now, so Lafdul and Solas will be going down
Well,
because we have a majority yays.
I do think it's a mistake not to have Lever to back them up.
Right, but that's not on the table
But
right now.
if that's not on the table, then okay, we'll go with what we go with.
Yeah, so what we've decided is that these two will go down, and that's what's going to happen today. Or
Okay.
technically next session.
So having the plan set up, do you want to wait for like nightfall kind of thing? Do you want to wait for any particular point? Do you want to go right away? What are you thinking? And I'm gonna I suggest putting this to Solas and Lafdul. Since
I leave that up to them.
I did say originally when we did the plans in the morning that we would do it on the night.
I don't
Right,
think
but
it
things
makes a
can
blind
change,
bit of
so that's what I
difference.
wanted to check.
That place operates 24/7. It doesn't matter if it's day or night. It will have an equal shift on the other verse.
We can
No,
go
but
there since we know that the warden's office was empty.
Sounds good.
Well, I mean, like, you can assume that the warden sleeps at some point. I mean, maybe the deputy warden works in his office, but Finn was in there for quite a while, and no one came in, so...
Yeah. Which is why Solas is okay to go now.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm fine with going now.
Okay. Alright, so, Solas and Lafdul will get ready to head down. This is going to be... You're looking at about 5 to 6 p.m. is what you're looking at in terms of the time at this point. Does that sound good to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where things returned? Sorry, I was away when Finn got back. So
I'm sorry?
where things returned when Finn got back? I assume so.
I honestly am not sure what you're asking.
He's asking if all the files were put back or something, right?
No. I was asking, did my amulet of non-detection get handed back? That was all.
Yeah. I think your items were returned.
All right. That was all.
And do you want to take Braxon's ring and ask him for the ring in case you want to read some things as well?
That's only good if I can be near someone. Actually, would that work if you have comprehend languages up at the time? You can technically read the language. I can get it from you.
No,
you would
not be able to use that on someone who's understanding languages through a spell.
But you can do
comprehend language doesn't give me the language proficiency. It makes just a text understandable.
Finn would quickly describe how he was able to do it by looking
through the keyhole to see somebody out there. Yeah.
But it's up to you if
the
you
ring
want to
on
take
them
the ring.
and use that to read languages.
Yeah. Or you could just keep an ear out at the door.
Yeah.
It's up to you, Lafdul.
I mean, it could be useful.
All right.
I don't plan on getting into a fight. I mean, if I get into a fight, I'll just have to swap the ring around or something.
Well,
probably flee.
The idea was if you notice that there are signs that someone is coming, you come to me and I cast another etherealness quickly so we can get out.
The plan is that you're not going to that you shouldn't ever be detected at all.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Which is why I have the etherealness ready.
So how am I getting down then? I've got one reduce and one elder self. That can get me down. I guess I use my potion of polymorph to get me out.
Or if Leva had a reduce spell.
What?
Leva, do you have a reduce spell to cast on him to get in there?
I mean, even if I got in there, I can't exactly scale straight down unless you're carrying me.
Yeah, you can come in my pocket.
Oh, alright.
Yes, she does have a reduce.
Okay. What about fly? Would that? I mean, that would get you down.
I have fly spells too.
Fly she
Two
has.
couples.
She has.
Okay, so Leva can cast a fly spell on him to get in.
Yes.
Fly and reduce to get in. That sounds good.
Uh-huh. What about invisibility?
I'm already invisible.
Oh, okay. Then it's
Solas.
okay.
If he's
Yeah.
casting on himself, then he's good.
Well,
I'm casting the invisibility also.
what if Leva casts invisibility on you first? If you're okay with that, Leva, and then you can save the invisibility 10-foot radius in case you need an emergency.
True, that's true.
I've also got pixie dust if needed, and I mean worst case.
Yeah, that's possible. She has one invisibility left. So she could.
Okay. I'm just making a note
Mm-hmm.
for next time.
So what is it? Reduce on
Reduce and
Ah,
fly on
fly.
Lafdul
On
and
Lafdul.
invisibility on Solas.
reduce on Lafdul. That's one. And fly on Lafdul, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Done.
All right. But we'll actually have the casting next time so that I can roll for potential.
Don't forget the level variation.
Right. That's what I mean.
Ah.
And for the people staying back up, everyone's come back to the camp to have a conversation, hear what Finn said. Who's going to go back on watch, or are you not going to have anyone on watch?
Finn can go
Well-
down on watch for a while.
Okay. Finn, do you have a proficiency for weather sense?
No.
Okay. Okay.
No, Braxon has
Don't think I have
wild
a hit bonus.
space.
I'm
I
sorry,
don't know
what was
if
that?
might apply.
What was that, Finn?
Yeah, no, I don't have anything from my kit either, so.
Okay.
Did you use spells today, Finn? Do you need
I haven't used any spells today.
Well, that's awesome. So you don't need to do loads of extra sleeping.
Okay, so when we come back next time, Lafdul and Solas will head down into the prison with some spells from Leva. Finn will be on watch, and we will see what happens. In the meantime, let's go ahead and distribute some experience points. That is going to be... we'll go with 500 experience points for everyone. And for Finn, that'll be an extra 1,500. So a total of 2,000 for Finn.
Okay.
And for
500.
Lafdul, let's see. That'll be 50 for your thief. And you cast Polymorph Self on yourself, right?
Yeah.
So that was a 4th level spell, so 200 for your priest.
Okay. It's great when you got 3 numbers to work out separately.
Yeah, and having to split the normal XP and
Always fun.
especially when all the specifically make so that you always have fractions.
Yeah. Gotta love them
And
fractions.
not nice even number.
Yeah, love them fractions.
So I got 415, 330 once I worked it out.
Sorry, I'm back. How much XP did I get? I had to run use the bathroom real quick.
500.
Okay. We have a plan.
All right. So, when we come back next time, we'll be executing that plan. The plan of reading, which is always a good plan as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's the favorite plan of Solas.
All right.
This
So,
plan will probably take place over a couple days.
It might. We'll see.
Solas plans on trying to use his research proficiency to make heads or tails for their sorting system.
Hey, Old.
Yeah?
This reminds me of that bit in the Dark Queen of Criminy got counting the leaves on the tree.
Oh God, I hated that part.
So did I.
Oh man. So when
It
we come
just
back
gives me
next
those
time,
vibes.
Solas will be counting other types of leaves, paper leaves.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to thank you guys for playing, and I want to thank everyone out there for watching. And we will be back next time. We'll see what the party is able to discover. See you next time, everyone.
Take care.
Thanks for the game.
Thanks for the game.
Thanks for the
Thanks for
game.
having us.